This is the first time of doing this kind of video, and it's a reaction video. So I would like you to subscribe, like, share and comment on this particular video to aid, to support what I'm doing right now. I believe it's going to benefit everybody that comes across it. I saw a video online and I'm going to react to it today. I'd like you to listen to the end of this video, because the conclusion that I'm going to give on this video is going to be very scintillating. I'd like you to wait to the end and hear the conclusion of this matter. Now. So, number one, I'm going to play the video. Number two, I will interpret the video. Number three, I will react to the video. And then number four, I'm going to give my conclusion, which, like I said earlier, is very, very important, very vital. I'd like you to wait to the end to see what I'm going to say. Watch the video.
They want you to submit, cook for me, wake up every morning, 5 a.m., pack my lunch, stroke my ego. But you don't want to provide, you don't want to make her feel comfortable. So if you're coming to a woman's life and you're saying, oh no, I want you to be submissive, you have to be ready to make sure that you're ticking all these boxes, you're doing all these things for her. Women have men for everything, ones who give them gifts, the ones who are just there, who just want to sleep with you. If I'm going to submit to you wholeheartedly, I'm going to be vocal about what I want, because you've already cut off all the other people that could buy it for me. And now you've come to stand and say, this is, I'm the one that must be for you. You have to be able to provide. Don't worry, every day. Papingo Jambala. Hey, you submissive, but you won't even have to ask me to be submissive to you. It comes in very naturally. It will just come naturally. Yeah. Please, should I help you? Should I give you a massage? You will enjoy it as you ever been submissive.
Alright, so that's the video that I saw online, and I believe this is a subject that should be addressed, because these videos go a long way. It reaches almost everybody in the society, and it is not good for our girls, young girls, growing up. And I believe this is not the kind of video that we should be paying attention to, or that we should allow to permeate into the hearts of our young minds.
What did she really say?
Number one, a man wants you to submit without being ready to also supply everything that other men are giving or are willing to give to a woman. The second thing, number two, women have men for everything. Sex, companionship, gifts, helps, holidays, for everything. Number three, as a man, you have to be the first to prove if you deserve a woman's submission. Submission is a reward for providing something that she is currently in need of. This is her quote. She said, "You've cut off other men who are ready to give me all I want, yet you are not ready to give me what I have been collecting from these other men." So as a man who wants this woman, this lady here says, for you to be able to cut her off from every other man that is ready to give her every other thing that she needs in life, you should be able to give her these things for her to be able to submit to you. If you don't do this, sorry, nothing for you. And then she said something like Fapingo Jambalaya. I think it was gotten from one Osophia's movie. You know Osofia, the guy that acts Osofia in London? I think it was gotten. I don't know what it means. If you know what it means, please make your comment in the comment section. All right, the next thing here, if you give me everything I want, submission will come naturally from me to you. If you don't, nothing for you. So she's saying her submission is tied to things that can be given to her.
What is submission?
Number one, what is submission? According to Wikipedia, we all know Wikipedia is a popular online dictionary that you can find on Google, very reliable, but not all the time. So Wikipedia says here that submission is the action of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person. This doesn't really fit into the concept of submission that we are talking about here, because this one talks about being forced into submission. Being forced into submission. But the submission we're talking about here has to do with somebody submitting himself to you or herself to you, not because you force the person. Number 2, definition of submission is the action of presenting a proposal, application, or other document for consideration or judgment. This also doesn't really fit in. You see, this is why personally I don't really rely on the dictionary for my definitions. I rely on the Bible. I rely on the Bible more than on the dictionary, because there are some things that the dictionary doesn't put it in the way it should be. But if you read the scripture, you will see these definitions pop up.
Where did the concept of a woman submitting to a man come from?
It came from the Bible. And I would like to read a few scriptures that show submission relative to a man and a woman. Quickly, Colossians chapter 3 and verse 18. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as it is fit in the Lord. Ephesians 5:22. Submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. 1 Peter 3 verse 1 is it, likewise ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands. The woman here is asked to bring herself and subject herself to her husband. Ephesians 5:33. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself. Talking to the man here. And the wife see that she reverence her husband. You see the words that are being used to describe submission here.
Reverence, subject, submit, submission.
1 Peter 3 verse 5. For after this manner in the old time the holy women also who trusted in God adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. So these women subjected themselves personally, practically, intentionally to their own husbands. And I'd like you to note that one of the other things that is sticking out in these scriptures that I just read is that women are not just called to submit themselves to anybody at any time as they like. Women are called to submit in particular to their own husbands. Does it mean a woman should behave rascally to every other man? No, it doesn't mean so. But it means that there are boundaries that should be created between a man and a woman who are not married. But for a man and a woman who are married, there are certain levels of love and submission that are expected of these people.
Submission is to bring your mission, vision, abilities, capacities, and intelligence to another's supervision. Here is my reaction leading up to my conclusion.
Okay, the first thing she said is that a man wants you to submit without being ready to also supply everything that other men are giving to her or to the woman. It's not supposed to be like that. A woman is not supposed to give herself to every man. You are to submit only to your husband. You communicate, relate with other men as human beings. You don't owe the man anything, neither does the man owe you anything. Submission here is referencing marriage. It's not referencing boyfriend or girlfriend relationship. She said women have men for everything. For sex, the ones that just want to be with you, companionship, the ones that have things to you, give to you gifts, the ones that are just around you to help you in one way or the other, the ones that want to spend the holidays with you. And she talks here and she says, and I believe this is a concept that a lot of women go with, that as a woman, men are meant to give you things. I don't think that mentality is right. A woman is supposed to, first of all, who is she supposed to depend on? A woman is supposed to depend on her parents. just like any other man, any other boy. Number 2, a woman should work after you've grown, you've gone to school, or you're doing business, whatever you're doing, you're supposed to have the mindset that I'm meant to work to sustain myself. Please, as a woman, don't ever think that it is your right for a man to be taking care of you. That is when you will be used. That is when you will be oppressed. That is when you will be forced into submission. That is when you will now need to exchange something for submission. But if you are somebody who is working, who is trying her best to earn a living, you will find it difficult to just be running around and hanging around men because they have what you don't have. Women shouldn't always want to depend on men for everything they get. Anybody who does that, whether you're a man or you're a woman, you're waiting for people to give you something before you can have. You will be used. Please don't fall into that trap. A woman should get married to a man and play her role as a help meet for the man, a help equal to the man's needs, a help sufficient for the man's needs. So a woman should work on herself to become a helper. You only help people who are in need of help. So if there is anybody who needs help between a man and a woman in marriage, it is the man. A help that is equal to the man's needs. A help that is the strength in the place where the man is weak or weakened. Do you understand what I just said? That is, she should reverence her husband. She should present herself to her husband. She should present her visions to her husband. She should present her ideas to her husband. She should present everything about her to her husband. Submit means to bring something to another person for the person to receive. You have to be the first to prove if you deserve my submission. I can't give you submission without you first proving that you deserve it. And I asked the question, why don't you give your submission first? Why are you waiting for the man to give you something before you can give him your submission? Who said who should be the first to give what? And that makes it clear that submission is not about what you have to give to somebody for the person to give you submission. Submission is personal, is intrinsic. It is a primary attribute. It is not a derived quality. It doesn't come as a result of something that another person did. A woman should be submissive, not foolish. A woman should be submissive, not stupid. A woman should be submissive, not voiceless. A woman should be submissive, not empty. A woman should not exchange her submission for anything. For instance, a man, you might think, okay, for me to be able to give her money, she must be submissive. For me to be able to give her this, for me to be able to love her, she must be submissive. No, that is not what it is about. Submission is an intrinsic value. Submission is character learned over time. Submission is not for sale for the highest bidder. Submission is developed over time through relationships with your father, with your mother, and with your siblings. Then there is a level of submission you are not permitted to give to any man apart from your husband. So saying that for the man to be able to get all of me, he should be able to give me everything that these other men are giving to me. It might not be possible. It might be feasible, but it might not be realistic. Because you've cut off other men, you feel that this man should now give you everything for you to submit to him. No, that is not how submission works. Submission is dependent on who you are. You decided to get married to this man and your job is to submit to him while his job is to love you. Anyone who is waiting to receive something to be submissive will never be submissive. Men, please, if you are always complaining that you don't have anything to give to a woman, please leave somebody's daughter alone. Leave her alone before you get insulted. As a man, you should be able to give. Men are givers. You should be able to give. But that's not the criteria for submission. But that is the criteria for love. For love gives. So if you're a man, you can give anything to a woman. You can put in effort to do something for a woman. You don't need her in your life because she is supposed to help you. So if there is nothing that you're doing, what is she helping you for? You should stay single and don't mingle. So here is my conclusion, that submission to a man is not based on things. It is based on personal home training. It is based on how you were raised, following biblical standards and being conscious of your self-value. Submission is not for the weak. You don't demand that weak people should become submissive because they are already submitted. It is only strong people that the Bible calls into submission. So as a woman, the only reason the Bible is asking you to submit is because you are powerful. You're powerful. You have value. You're great. That's why the Bible is calling you to submit. If a woman is a help meet for the man, it means the man's weakness is the woman's strength. So that therefore means that you as a woman are stronger in certain areas than the man. That is why you are needed in the man's life. That is why the Bible is asking you to submit. Because if you were to act in your strength, you will destroy the man. That is why the Bible also makes us to understand that a foolish woman destroys her house with her own hands. Women, you have the power to destroy your homes. You have the power to make your homes. You have the power to destroy your husbands. You have the power to make your husbands. He's not asking you to submit so that you get defeated. He's asking you to submit so that you can build something that the man himself cannot build. Why would he say that? Because the woman has the tendency to usurp authority. Why? Because she sees farther. She has the ability to see farther. But you are to bring that your ability of strength to put it under the authority of the man so that it can be harnessed. So that you don't push the man into destruction. You don't push your husband into destruction because you have the ability to do that. Women are more emotional than men. That means they are more sensitive than men are. That means they are more reactive than men are. So you have to bring that energy and put it under submission to the man who is less reactive, so that it can be channeled properly to the right places for the family to grow, thrive, and become mighty and great. Subscribe to this channel. Meanwhile, like this video. Meanwhile, make a comment in this video so that I can be doing more of this. Thank you very much.
Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.